Welcome to America Rising Media, where it is our mission to spread truth, expose evil, and effect as much positive change and unity as possible. We encourage open dialogue, so join us in the chat and share your thoughts. Please note that the views and opinions expressed by guests and audience members are their own and do not necessarily reflect those of America Rising Media. We encourage you to critically evaluate all perspectives presented during our broadcasts. We appreciate your understanding and support, and thank you for being part of our community.
He leans in close, then he cuts to the chase. A raised eyebrow hit right across his face. One says yes, one says no in a flash. He turns the heat up like he wants it to clash. A finger in the air and the debate goes wild. Every argument sharp, every answer style. He laughs, he sways, then he hands up the mic. The whole room buzzes like a match in the night. Hands up, here we go again. Talk real loud, let the chaos begin. Side to side and the truth gets loud. Spin City calls it out, right there in the crowd. The panelists on America, hey, Rising Media. The panelists on America, woo, Rising Media. Spin City, spin it hard, yelling at everyone. Spin City, spin it hard, nobody leaves untouched.
Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you may be. Mr. Brick Petitions is here. Good evening, America Rising family. We have some exciting news to put out. It's the best things that we've ever heard. It's the best things that we're ever going to do. We are going to Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C., sir, for the 250. We are going to be live on the America Rising channels, all of the America Rising channels, Spin City News, the Benjamin Balderson channel, X, Rumble, you name it. We are going to be there. We will be covering starting the 3rd up in the left-hand corner of your screen. If you would like to help us get there and keep the production going, please scan that QR code. It will take you to a give, send, go. It just helps us keep the lights on and keeps us going. We have a good show tonight. Mr. Brick Petitions, start it off for us.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Spin, for having the show tonight. Yeah, it's really actually awesome to see the America Rising Media family going to DC. So that's really awesome. But for today, what we have in store is the Vigilance Committee has decided to come on. We asked him if he could spare some time, and he was so kind and gracious to give us some. And what we have planned for today is that we are going to be covering some of the Nancy Guthrie case, as well as some of the things going boots on the ground in that area. So the gentleman that runs the channel for the Vigilance Committee at YouTube is kind and gracious and going to grace us with his presence today. So that would be Cliff. And I guess we'll go ahead and get him on up here.
And Mr. Cliff with the Vigilance Community, sir, good to see you. I know we planned this and we've been hit and miss and everything like that. Why don't you introduce yourself, let everybody know where to find you. And you are the star of this show, sir. The mic is yours.
Well, I appreciate you having me, and I appreciate Brick's kind words there. My channel is just on YouTube. It's called the Vigilance Committee. The reason I named it the Vigilance Committee is because my family's been rooting out government corruption since 1864. My ancestor was the captain of the Montana Vigilantes, and in the state of Montana, they're actually heroes of history, and rather than the California Vigilantes. So, and it's because they rooted out government corruption because there was no law at the time. It was a territory. So, but that's what our channel does, is try to create government transparency and accountability in all branches of government, whether it be judicial, legislative, and executive. So that's what we do.
That sounds awesome. You want to tell everybody what we're going to be exploring tonight, Cliff? And we've got some panelists in the back. We've got some video to play. So let's get down to the nitty gritty. Tell us what it's about. We'll get into it. And Mr. Brick Petitions will be the host with the most this evening.
Sure. So what I wanted to basically expose this evening, and I'm trying to expose it on multiple channels where I can, is there's actually 3 YouTubers that are trying to cover the Nancy Guthrie case in Pima County. All 3 of them have either been cited or arrested for public nuisance because the neighbors didn't want them there, even though they were on a public easement with their cameras across the street from Nancy Guthrie's, just trying to keep the story alive. Mainstream media really hasn't been putting anything out, although they are there as well, and yet they were not cited or arrested for being in the same area. So I contend that's a 14th Amendment violation, and the Sheriff's Department is cracking down, so to speak, on people being out there to try to cover that story. So something's not quite right about that. It's violation of not only the First Amendment, but the 14th Amendment as well, in my opinion. Yeah. So we're going to see a live streamer who was out there after an arrest, and he goes back out there, sits on the public easement, and waits.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Cliff. Yeah, no, yeah, it does definitely seem like there's some funny business going on there from what I've seen and what you've told me about it. I have examined the video. What I did for our viewers, make it a little bit easier on them, is I cut some pieces out so that we can get through it a little bit easier. And if they want, they can go back and watch the full video that is at the Criminal News Network, I do believe. Is that correct?
Criminal Network.
Criminal
YouTube channel. Yeah.
Criminal Network. So if you want to go watch his video, give credit where credit is due. You can watch the whole live stream. He does a lot of footage covering the Nancy Guthrie case, which is really good because that's it keeps the story alive, keeps people aware. So. But yeah, do you want to pull more panelists up, or do you want to go ahead and get into some of the video first?
We're gonna pull the panelists up so they can see it with no problem. We have a very special panelist tonight. We have Mrs. Balderson. Mrs. Balderson, good to see you, my dear. What say you?
Good to see everybody. Thank you for the invite. I'm looking forward to the video.
And we have For the Win is with us tonight. He is coming to us from the couch because he decided to do something stupid for the win. Good to see you.
Hey, I hobbled my ass up here to the bedroom, or excuse me, my office here to actually do this. So been on the couch all day. I rolled my ankle.
That's all right. That's all right. You know, the hospital's right down the street, sir. The hospital's right down the street if you need it. So, Mr. Brick Petitions, I am going to put this up. We are going to play the first clip. We will take it down. We can talk about it at will, sir. It is your floor, sir.
All right, that sounds good. All right, so again, you know, this is Criminal Network at YouTube. So we'll play the first section here, and we're just going to examine. You got it? Yeah, we can see it. We can see it. We're going to examine at least him pulling up here, and then we'll stop it and we'll talk a little bit about it.
No sound?
No?
Nope, no sound.
I do apologize. Let me reshare it. This is why we come in early.
Yeah, the only thing we didn't do when we all came in. Sorry about that, folks. A little technical glitch. It's okay. If you can't get it, Brick, I can share it.
All right, let's try it again.
All right.
Good. And that work in the Uber on my way to my attorney's. I'll play this song for you. Here, right, the cones like right here. Perfect. Thank you, Joey, very much. Cut this off. We got an awesome Uber driver here, guys, Joey. Other people are documenting. Criminal Network on YouTube. Yeah, thank you for the ride. Yeah. Where they parked this? Yeah, well, not by the dog shit. Oh, wow. Not a vehicle. Let me set this up over here, guys. Out of the, on the off the easement right here. Look, mira. See, I mean, you guys see it. Look. It's a peaceful protest, guys. Not only for my rights being violated, but the finances for Nancy. She's still a missing woman. Okay? How's it going, man?
How are you?
Very good, thanks.
Chris Bass.
So there's new flowers over there, guys. The rest are gone. I'm not here to badmouth nobody. I'm here to document and exercise my constitutional rights. Where the hell did these people park? Why are they here? They're in press. Did they park out of the zone, or what did Sue Ellen let them park there? Nancy has not been found, and nor has anybody been brought accountable. So come on, man. So I'm going to continue doing what I'm doing. And then I'm going to read this code to you guys, okay? It's important. This is to prove to you guys and to let the deputies know that, oh, so they were allowed to park up there. Oh, I'm nice. Must be nice. Oh, really? Anyway, let me tell you guys the law real quick. So in case they show up, I'm going to repeat it to them too. It says it on the sign right there. 10.40.050A. Media will still be able to access the neighborhood and report from the public right-of-way. It's pretty simple, man.
All right, you can bring it down for us. All right, so just wanted to play at least this portion first. And I think Cliff has the most knowledge of what's actually going on here. I can give you kind of what happened during this portion, but I think handing it over to Cliff would be the best option here. Cliff, can you give us kind of a backstory and then an understanding of what is occurring and what he's talking about on the stream?
Sure. So the backstory is there was a lot of cameras out there in the beginning. All the mainstream media was out there along with these guys, YouTubers wanting to find out what happened to Nancy Guthrie as well. And they're citizens, and they're out there searching through the desert to try to find this woman. And they're also keeping their cameras there to keep the story alive and report. So they're citizen journalists, and they are disseminating information to the public on their, as well as the mainstream media. What you saw in that video were two mainstream media folks, one with a camera, the other one with a press pass, walking along in the roadway, and then you saw their car pull out. Now, everyone was supposed to take an Uber into that area because there was traffic issues, so the roadway was temporarily closed to the media, even though residents can still drive through there. But the mainstream media was allowed to drive in there, but the citizen journalists were not. And this man was already arrested for public nuisance and blocking the roadway. The other two that were buddies of his, one was cited a couple of weeks ago for public nuisance for sitting in the public easeway, and then he was cited and arrested the second time and taken to jail. The other one was cited and released, but he hadn't even been there for 2 months when they cited him for being on the public right away as well. So, and then Alex here was actually arrested at his home the first time for public nuisance and blocking the roadway. He came back because he felt he had a right to be there and keep the story alive and disseminate to the public with his camera as he sat on the public easement. And you're going to see the cops come and arrest him. So,
yeah, I appreciate that. So the young man there, his name is Alex.
Yes,
Alex. Okay, we'll call him Alex from now on. We ain't got to worry about the YouTube handle. I mean, I will work on it when we do the next clip, and I'll get that handle for us so we can put that in the chat. Alex, it seems that he was just simply there in his official capacity as press, essentially, right? I mean, you know, we've had the discussion about what press really is, and it's actually a verb. So he was pressing, right? Which is exactly what he should be doing. So he was there. Other people were there. Seems like he actually did what was requested of him, which is to bring his equipment himself in an Uber. That was actually a request from what I'm gathering. So he's being as respectful as he possibly can. So Miss Balderson, do you have any thoughts so far on the thing?
Yeah, so I do. I'm just gonna, so Spin, right now you're about to go to Washington, D.C. on the 4th of July, and you're about to go be the press, and you're about to go report on that.
Yes.
For that, you had to get a press pass. Is there something equivalent that is required for this person here? I'm just trying to check all the check boxes just to make sure.
Well,
I'm asking them. I was just kind of using you as an example of
no, you're fine. When you are in like a government setting, if you will, right?
I assumed it was different for that reason. I just wanted to ask the question and get that check mark out of the way. That's all.
Yes,
So
it is.
maybe you can answer that for me.
It's a special,
so
it's
you
a
have
special
to get
public event is what you're going
right.
to. That's why you need a press pass.
Yes.
The other gentleman is in a public area as a member of press, and so he has a right
Correct.
to be there.
Perfect.
Correct.
That's
Press
what I
pass
wanted
for that.
clarified. Thank you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So basically, when you're doing stuff on government property, right? You have to apply. You have to do all kinds of
Get clearance.
background bullshit as
Yeah, it's that part.
yeah, and you have
For
to
events. It's a special event.
Yeah,
You
right.
don't have to do that if you're going into public buildings as a
Right.
journalist. Just a special
Right.
event.
Yeah.
It's all about accountability and so they know who's there, right? So everybody that's going has to have media credentials to go into the media area. Now, here's the caveat. It is still public property. You are still on a sidewalk, per se. I could not tell you how many cameras are in the National Mall every day, 24 hours a day, right? So what the media credentials that I have for this event is I can go into the rally. I can go into press only areas. So when we set up our broadcast station, our mobile unit, it's in a press only area.
Gotcha. And so where
that
it
takes-
where it applies to Nancy Guthrie, there isn't a press area. There's just a public street, and
It's just
the
a public
public has the access to the street to act
Correct.
as press to record what is going on, as long as they're not on private property.
Correct. So if they went into Nancy Guthrie's driveway, they are subject to arrest
Different
because
rules.
they are now trespassing.
Yeah.
So anyway,
if they're uninvited and it
Yeah.
says no trespassing, yeah. I mean, if somebody tells them to get off private property, they better leave, otherwise they could be arrested for trespassing. Yes.
correct. So there is oh God. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll take it from here. It is some kind of goofy because essentially you are talking about what is public property, where there is no credentials, but what it is like he said, these people in these governmental positions want to see a vetting, and it's understandable to feel safe. But at the same time, you're looking at it like, okay, well, I'm an American. I have my rights. And, if you want to feel vetted, if you want to feel like I've been vetted, well, I mean, I'm an American. I don't know what to tell you. I have my rights. And so, yes and no. So, like, there can be restrictions laid out. There can be, but that, in my opinion, would fall down to fire code, right? So, like, if you had, 1 million people involved in press trying to file into one area, like the press conference room at the White House, that's a little bit ridiculous. So it does fall down to fire code as far as that is concerned, but the easier out for them is to provide credentials and security checks. So it's a little tit for tat. Would I sacrifice a little bit of my liberty for security? Not if it's essential, right? So if it's essential, right, and that's the Benjamin Franklin quote, essential liberty. So if somebody's getting in there and bringing me the story, cool. But if they're not allowing anybody in there, that's where I won't sacrifice it. So as long as someone's getting in there, I'm happy, yada, yada. So I'm okay with credentials in that concern. It's not essential.
So I want to bring something up, Brick, just really quickly.
Yes, sir.
There is not a universal press credential. It does not exist. Where press credentials come in is when you are in a private, quote unquote, private event. So the mystery behind the press credentials, yes, there are, but they are event specific. Like, I'll give you a very good example. A concert. Okay. I have press credentials. That's what they want to see. Okay. They want to see that you're a private company, whatever. At that point, if they admit you, they will give you at a concert, they will give you an armband. It says press. I have like 30 of them sitting in the drawer over here as keepsakes, right? Like here in Central Florida, we have what's called Gasparilla. You have to apply to be able to go into the press area, which again, private event. Yeah, I could stand along the parade line up against a barrier, right? But I'm not getting the shots that I need, right? So they have a separate area. You can be out on the street. You can do whatever the hell you want at that point because you are now credentialed media. You have the right.
I've got the concept. I don't think you need to elaborate anymore. I think anyone
that's for the viewers. Because there is a lot of speculation on press credentials.
And hopefully you get someone like Spin who can get the good shot.
Yeah, hopefully.
Anything else, Miss Balderson, on it?
But anyway, okay, I just wanted to bring that up. Go ahead, guys.
Yeah, anything else, Miss Balderson? There. Okay. For the win, do you have anything, sir?
Yeah, Vigilance. When this arrest happened, how far down the rabbit hole were we when the start of this Nancy Guthrie case started? Was this near the tail end or much later, or?
No, it was. This was just about a week ago.
This was a week ago. Okay.
At that time, it was day 132 or 36. I can't remember for sure. Of her being missing, abducted from her home. So.
I mean, it's interesting because like the mainstream media, it was nonstop wall-to-wall coverage for like, what, 2-3 weeks and everything. It was all eyes on this, distract from everything else. And now she's still not found or anything. And, you know, you have people poking around and everything wanting to keep the story alive, if you will. I mean, to me, I could care less personally because I just think this thing is just a distraction and who knows where this lady's at. It's not good.
There's a lot of distractions out there.
But the question is why would you go and, you know, arrest this dude unless if you're trying to just completely bury the story altogether? So
yeah, something's not quite right in paradise there. Exactly. That's why we need more cameras there instead of less.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, so essentially we've delved into the point about press, right? So he's there in his official capacity.
If I may, Brick, I'd like to recognize some people in your chat. There's Phoenix ADA Audits. He's an ADA specialist. So I want to say hello to him. Brian Johnson. He's a scene setter. He understands a lot of law, studies it. Stephanie Jenks is one of my administrators. Tennessee
Hi, Steph.
Transparency in the chat. Welcome. Appreciate you guys being here and supporting.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that they're over here and checking it out. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. So yeah, I guess go ahead and bring it on back up there, Spin, if you can. We'll watch the next portion, see what happens. You ready? Ready to roll?
Ready?
Got a Lexus. We got a BMW coming in hot. Flying, white dude, of course, young guy. Slow down, Turbo. On his phone. It was on his phone. But yeah, no, there's nothing illegal going on over here. No, just a guy sitting. Uh-oh. They're calling SWAT. I'll put the camera back in case they get close. You got a big Ram coming. Probably going to give me a dirty look, and then a BMW. So I'm not going to give him any... Nico! My brother. How's it going, man? Good. I don't want to get out of my spot here. I don't want to break any laws or anything, but how you doing, man? No. I just came. You've been searching all day or what? Jacob told me you're probably tired, huh? I bet. Cover a lot of ground? 21,000 steps. Nico, even Jacob, you told me last night, you guys were getting together early. I could tell Jacob was getting tired last night. It's like, yeah, we're going to get together. I bet. And that heat doesn't help, I know. As long as he could, right? Right. But yeah, anything interesting? You still got to process everything.
This case is not it's like everybody else.
Yeah, but the more eyes, the better. And then your knowledge, man, we love it. Did I put you didn't have a YouTube page, so I just put if you notice, I put on my banner, I made sure I put Nico Toscone. I put your name on there. So yeah, I don't know if you have your YouTube. I don't think you have a YouTube, right? Gotcha. So I still put it on there,
My daughter called me a caveman because I can't even keep up with Facebook.
I know, I'm with you. I got 2 phones. I can barely handle that now. Keeping up with the messages. But you're awesome, man. Thanks for all you do.
Flowers still there. Pick up a vase with yellow flowers.
Yeah. There is a vase, and it's got like about 6-7 flowers on there. Yeah. Is that today?
Yeah.
Good. So that vase was there. Last night. Gotcha. Oh, wow.
Somebody took all the rest of it.
That's nuts.
All right, man, I'm gonna check.
Yeah. Good to see you, Nico, always, man. Thanks for all you do, brother. Good dude right there, man. I love Nick. Man, there's a couple times I was able to ride with him. And bro, he's so knowledgeable. Just for the things you wouldn't even, I told you guys already, like the subtle things you wouldn't really, I don't know, I would never have thought of. As a retired detective. I think he's done all that stuff. He was teaching me a lot of stuff. And I was like, wow, I never even thought of that. I mean, not even kinda. I was gonna go shake his hand. I just didn't want to break any laws. So
Sorry, I was doing a rookie thing there.
Rookie?
Yeah. So I wanted to make sure to include that portion in there. This gentleman, Nico, pulls up in his Dodge Ram. At first, Alex can't see who it is. He's obviously gotten a little bit of heat while he's been there in the past. Otherwise, he wouldn't be reacting kind of the way he's reacting. I could definitely see that. But once he realizes it's Nico, he has this conversation with Nico. And during that conversation, it seems we find out that Nico is part of the efforts to search for.
He's a former detective. Yeah. He's
Yep.
a former detective looking for leads in the desert.
Yep. And so Alex has had previous conversations with Nico, actually got a chance to ride with Nico probably on one of his searches. Seems Nico's knowledgeable. He's, Alex has learned quite a bit from him probably. But like I said, I wanted to include that because it seems as though the people love that Alex and others like Alex are there. Coverage is a good thing, right? When a story dies, it's horrible, right? Especially a story like this, right?
Same way when an investigation dies. People solve crimes this day and age, not police, is my opinion on that, because they don't work like they did 50 years ago. They'd rather be out harassing and collecting from the general public by way of traffic citations. And they don't really focus on crime anymore, where there's actual victims. So that's where the media needs to, instead of just regurgitating the government line, they need to actually investigate what's really happening with our law enforcement. Are they actually doing their jobs or not? So I contend we need more cameras on them as well.
Yeah, I can absolutely agree. Ms. Balderson, do you have any thoughts on this one? For the Win, do you have any thoughts on this one?
No, not really.
Yeah. I just, like I said, I wanted to make sure to include it because, you've got people out there looking, okay? The press, when they stop covering the story tends to die off. People get tired. People get, caught up in other things that they're doing. Their lives don't stop just because someone went missing, and someone did go missing, and it's a horrible thing. Like I said, also, it seems that Alex has had some interesting interactions where he hasn't been treated fairly by some of the people in the public. Otherwise, he wouldn't have reacted this way in the first place when Nico pulled up. He didn't even recognize the truck. I'm sure that if he'd known it was Nico, he wouldn't even reacted that way. So I thought that was a very interesting twist to what I was watching when I was actually looking at this. So I wanted to make sure to include that.
I also think it's true that a lot of Americans don't care. They don't. They're busy doing their 40-hour work week, and they just want to be entertained on the weekends. So it takes special types of people out there to actually investigate and be press. Not everybody's cut out for it, but it is a constitutional right. It's an individual right. Just because CNN and Fox News and all of those mainstream media out there that regurgitate the government entities, their narrative, because they want to be first to get the story next time, so they kiss the rear end of the government. And these citizen journalists don't typically do that. They're looking for the truth. They're actually trying to keep a story alive and actually do some investigative work. And that's people. People solve crimes. And the people really aren't talking to law enforcement anymore because they fear them, or they just don't want to talk to cops anymore, because it's not the policing that it was 50 years ago when they were friendly. They're no longer friendly to the people.
Yeah,
which is sad.
I agree. And the thing too is, obviously we're talking about police here too, and I want to make sure that it's understood that, from my understanding, policing is a necessity, right? I just don't want that
when it's done correctly.
I want good police, right? I want the best.
To solve real crimes like rapes, burglars, actual crimes where there's actual victims, and leave the camera people alone.
Yeah, the guys who go out and find the actual criminals who, I know that the courts have ruled that it's no duty to protect here, but you know what? That's okay. They don't have to I see it. Yeah, and
Maybe
they
they should.
they don't have to, but you know what? They ought, right? It's the ought, right? Yeah, so there is that. But yeah, I guess so, you know, that's you know, it's nice to see people out there looking. It's nice to see people out there covering it. We'll go ahead and play the next little scene, I guess.
Here. You gonna go that close? Hi. Hi. I'm harassing them. I'm a waste of my life. The van. Oh, the Jen lady. Oh, thank you for saying that on camera. If you guys notice, I didn't say anything. You don't under. She said, "You don't learn, do you?" No, I don't. Make a call, Karen. Make a call, Karen. You just harassed me. Do I need to start filing charges? Let me pray for Karen. Heavenly Father, we pray this fucking get some health and some mental health help, and that she, you know, gets off her high horse and realizes that she's not as entitled as she thinks she is. In my Creator's name, amen. Amen. Your girlfriend? That's the kind of stuff I have to go through. And then they're telling me that I'm the problem? Let's see how long it takes Karen to call her direct line to the sheriff's. UPS coming, guys. He can't stop. I want him to know he needs to pull into the driveway to be able to.
All right, I want to go ahead and stop it right there. Before we get to the next scene is the arrest scene. But before we get there, I wanted to make sure to stop it here. It was like 2 or 3 minutes, maybe 5 at the max, before the next scene. Okay. And the next scene, I didn't cut anything out of. It's uninterrupted. You know, no speed ups, no nothing like that. It's clear that this lady stopped, or whoever was driving, could have been a man, I don't know, but he seemed to be able to see it and was able to verbalize what he was seeing, kind of take his word for it at this point. I mean, he is on a honorable mission, in my opinion. He does verbalize what he heard, even though because it's a live stream, it doesn't actually catch the sound. It's kind of skipping in and out. Yeah, I wanted to stop it right there and kind of get you guys' thoughts on it. Cliff, do you have any thoughts at the moment?
Sure. The interaction was in and out. You didn't hear her say anything. So he just kind of narrated what she did say, that he didn't learn anything. In other words, she knew that he'd already been arrested for being out there for public nuisance. And she's one of the neighbors that didn't want them out there. So she probably did call the sheriff's department. But I contend the sheriff's department already knew, because he was live streaming, and they do monitor live streams on the internet. That's especially when they're cracking down out there. They want to make sure nobody's out there with their cameras, except for the mainstream media. And they actually feed the mainstream media this story, and then the mainstream media edits it the way they want it edited to make Alex look bad. But we'll get to that. We'll see that in the video.
Ms. Balderson, what do you? I'm gonna just ask you. What do you think about nosy neighbors?
I mean, I live so far away from neighbors for a reason. So clearly, I'm not a fan of nosy neighbors. My nearest neighbor is only here a couple months out of the year, and I'd have to go on a little hike to get to her. So yeah, I don't know. We have kind of a thing out here, like mind your own business, leave everybody else alone. If unless you're harming somebody, and then it's everybody's business.
I agree.
I guess I just don't. I'm not cut out for the city anymore. I don't think I could do it. I might there could be problems.
And we have to respect people's private property too. That's why these guys are on the easement.
Yep.
You know, it's there's rules for everyone. We have to do what's lawful and right. So.
Well, see, here's the thing. You know, let's watch the arrest scene, Brick, and then I'm gonna make a lot of comments over this.
Okay, that's fair. I want to see if For the Win has anything to say about it though. Sure. First, I want to ask him a more leading question as well. I know I asked Ms. Balderson. I'm good at that.
Oh Lord.
How do you feel about Karen's For the Win?
Well, I don't care for them if that's what you're asking. You know, I don't think anyone really does. It's just keep to yourself. But to the same point, like with Christy, like with nosy neighbors, I mean, put yourself in these people's shoes that are these neighbors and stuff like that. Like it was a full-blown media circus. And what makes it even worse is that there was a full-blown media circus. There was a complete investigation. The FBI was even out there. And we're 132 plus days later, and there's still no end result or anything out there. And they're still out there. It's just like, go home, bro. There's nothing to be seen here at the end of the day. Like, I get it. And they're on the easement, so that's fine. But it's annoying. I would get annoyed by having to drive by these people every fucking day too. So to that point, I'm okay with these Karens in that regard, but let's see the arrest scene though. Let's see how that goes. I think that'll maybe
respond to that. I'd like to respond to that. Do we want freedom in this country, or do we want people with feelings to stop freedom? What's more important?
Well, what's more important is that people shouldn't be fucking sacrificed to their gods, and that's why the story won't go away. These people are sick. And the sad news is that we have people out there hoping, digging to find a story when there is no story. She gone. And that's the most frustrating part about all this.
That's pretty callous. But you do you.
Well, you know,
I mean, look at the distractions, dude. Look at what was going on at the time. It was Epstein stuff coming out and everything. And then bam, 3 weeks of news coverage and everything. It was completely fictionalized. It was made up. And all eyes were meant to be on this 24/7. And the media didn't have to report on anything else.
If that theory is true, then this guy sitting there reporting might actually uncover some of that.
Yeah, and thank you, Mrs. Balderson. Thank you so much for that comment, because look, the mainstream media only covers so much. They don't want to see, they don't want you to see, they don't want you to see certain things. The independent media, like America Rising and Spin City News, it's unedited. It's unscripted. There's no reporter in the background. Oh, look at the nice little plants when you know they're exactly.
All that teleprompter stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. There's no teleprompter. It all comes from here. Right.
It's organic.
Right?
I call it organic, which is truth.
It is organic. But I want to say this too. I actually do sympathize with what For the Win is saying, right? Now, if I'm a neighbor and I come out there and I see, and you know, Cliff, you admit too that there was a bunch of traffic originally,
there was.
Right?
Right.
Now this is day 132. That's 3.5 months later. Now, I do agree with Ms. Balderson that with no coverage, nothing's going to be found. So maybe a happy medium is the independent journalist, this young man, Alex, going out there on his
One camera.
And the mainstream media was out there that day too. So it's not like the mainstream media is, has chosen to tell the story.
Well, and I was going to say, if he was the only independent media out there and there was a couple mainstream, it's not like he's adding to a giant sea of people. It sounds like there were a handful of people. I'm honestly kind of playing devil's advocate on this on purpose either way. But
there's a lot of people that don't agree with that. They don't trust mainstream media anymore. Because
I definitely don't trust mainstream media. It's propaganda.
I mean, if anything, I wish this guy's camera was pointed at the mainstream media that were out there. doing a
Well,
story on them.
and-
Like, why are you guys out here? What are you looking for and everything, you know?
Yeah.
you know,
I mean, like where the camera's pointed, what do you think she's going to do? Waltz into the camera shot? Hi, I'm here.
It
Like,
was pointed at them when they were there, but then they left. They
you
went
guys,
to a
I
different area.
completely
Yeah.
agree that it's good to be able to also keep an eye on the media, but I think it's also naive to think that bias does not exist in independent media.
Oh,
It may or may not be propaganda. If they're just repeating propaganda from other sources, and they're just repeating propaganda from other sources, but absolutely independent media has their own biases. So
Absolutely.
let's be transparent about that too.
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
and I don't know about you guys, but like, did you guys kind of do your own little mini investigations into all this stuff? Because the weirdest thing that I heard was that I believe it was Savannah Guthrie's aunt, when she was a child, would come and quote unquote kidnap her for the day. And she wrote that in her book. And I'm like, that's just completely strange. That's just weird.
A lot of people, the independent media has been talking about that she may have been involved. But
Sure.
it's all speculation. It's all speculation. But I don't know if the authorities actually dug and interviewed her again.
I'm just going to throw
Maybe they
this
should.
out there as a woman, but my friends and I, because I live out in the middle of nowhere and I'm 4 hours away from my best friends, we talk like that all the time. They're going to come kidnap me and take me over to town for a girls' weekend all the time. We talk like that all the time. It's not
It's joking. Yeah, it's a joking thing.
Yeah, but no offense, Christy, you're kind of a nobody. No offense, if that's what I'm saying.
I
Like,
am
you
a
know,
nobody.
this Guthrie
I'm glad
family and
to be
stuff like
somebody. I
that.
don't want to be a
And I'm not saying shade or anything with that. I'm just saying, like, you know,
take
when
it
you have
that
these
way.
prominent families, there's a reason why you get to be a network anchor on these networks and stuff like that and whatnot. And, you know, when you put all the puzzle pieces together, I can't explain what happened, but I know enough that something shady is certainly going on. Something's wrong here. So.
Well, that's kind of the point here. I think what we're covering today is, you know, the Nancy Guthrie story is one thing, right? And because the Nancy Guthrie story is one thing, and it hasn't been resolved, but also other matters are happening at the same time. Specifically, when you look at what's occurred with Alex here, I think that that's more specifically why Cliff wanted to cover it. Not just Nancy Guthrie. It's always great to bring that story into the light, but when we're talking about press, when we're talking about media and the ability to do our job to press, sometimes our job is hindered by powers greater than ours. And this is just the truth, okay? Like, it's the unfiltered truth. It's unfortunate, but it's the world we live in. And coming to terms with that reality, I think it's not just that, you know, you should be aware of it, but it's also a warning. But it's also an encouragement to know that you're not alone out there too, right? Because Alex, right here he is, and we're going to watch it here in a second. Here he is doing his job, pressing. And he goes out there and by the way, this is not the only arrest. There was an arrest that occurred before, right? I didn't get the chance to look at it. Cliff was telling me about it. It should be on Alex's channel, right, Cliff?
It's actually on his own channel. His channel is called The Juice. And then there's 857 Tucson is another channel. They both have YouTube channels. And they were parties involved in getting either cited or arrested as well for being out there, public nuisance.
I included the call that he got or made right before the arrest in this. Is that the other?
The Juice? That's The Juice.
That's who he works with.
Young black
Very
man,
good.
yes.
Okay, good. I'm glad I included that. It seems that they had a good working relationship from what I heard on the phone. So I guess there's nothing to do here but get right into it. All right, let's go ahead and pull it up, man. Let's watch this last portion then.
The Juice call, let me see.
What's up?
How you doing, brother? Should I put you on live or what? Okay, hold on. I always want to make sure.
No, you're good, man. I always want to say thank you.
Of course, man.
You know, we stand with you.
Of course, it's for all of us.
Man, thank you for setting the tone, man. This is really going to set the tone.
I love it.
You know, if they don't show up, I mean, this is really going to speak volumes.
It does, 100%. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, I almost want to come and join you
No,
right now.
I appreciate it. But nah, let's just keep it like this. But of course, I would love to have you out here. But let's just see if we can. You're right. This will set the tone to show that maybe we all can. So, you know,
Yeah.
I'm sitting here. I'm not even touching the street. Yeah. Okay, here they come. I gotta go. Juice. 2 sheriffs pulling up. All right, love you, brother. All right, guys.
What if they pull up the camera?
Get my notebook.
Hello, sir. How you doing? Put a cigarette out for us.
Sure.
Stand up.
For what, sir?
Because it's a direct order.
On direct order. Okay, but before that, can I have your name and your badge number first?
We'll get you. Let's get
Hey.
No, stand up.
What did I do?
Stand up. You're under arrest.
For what?
You're under arrest.
What am I under arrest for? Hey,
Stand up.
hey.
Stand up.
Okay, but listen, you guys.
Stand
What am I under arrest for?
Drop.
Hey, what am I under arrest for? Dude,
Stop it.
don't do it. Hey, I'm not even fighting you. I want to know what I'm arrested for.
Get on the ground.
What am I under arrest for?
Get on the ground.
What am I under arrest for?
Get on the freaking ground.
I didn't shove him down.
Comply.
What am I under arrest for?
Comply.
Ooh.
I will, but what am I under arrest for? Fucking ass. Don't twist me. He's putting a cuff on me.
Knock it off.
He's putting a cuff on me.
Relax.
Tell him you're putting a cuff on me.
Relax.
Don't twist my fucking hand. You guys,
Deal, man. Right?
get someone out here to get my stuff. I don't want them taking my shit.
Victory still, man. You make it look like it.
Sir, can you please make sure my stuff's picked up?
Is he about to pass out?
Someone get out here to get my stuff, please. Hey, sir.
Stop pulling away. Get the.
Till my cuffs are on, bro.
Relax. Relax.
You relax.
I'm not doing anything.
Then don't tell me to relax. I can speak however I want to, bro. You're no bigger of a human being than I am, bro. Remember that.
Stop putting your face in my face.
I can put my face anywhere I
Spit
want.
on me, you catch a charge.
No one spit on you.
Fucking spit on me, dude.
No one spit on you. Just shut your mouth, bro. If you don't want to talk. Can I get my stuff?
No.
I can't get my stuff?
No.
Hey, you guys are gonna... Get the fuck off my arms! Stop! Stop that! Put me in the car, leave me the fuck alone! Then why are you twisting my arms? Faggot, that ain't doing it. You gonna let him do that? Fucking pieces of shit. Every single one of you. I don't know. If any of my shit's missing, you're gonna pay for it, bro. That's all my money. I paid for that.
Juliet, my life, 422-115.
I do apologize for some of the language. It is a free country, but I do understand that, we are watching a video. This young man is definitely saying a lot. There's a lot there. There's a lot to go over. I know there's probably a lot of opinions this way and that way. We're watching something, right? And there's a lot of language there. Like I said, I do apologize for the language. Obviously, this is somebody else's video that we watched. This is not anything to reflect on America Rising Media or anyone else. But with that, let's go ahead and delve into it. I'd like to hear from Cliff first. I want your opinion on not just the arrest itself, but the young man's actions, his understanding of the law itself, and his understanding of the officers and what they are able to do, as well as what they are legally able to do. Go ahead, Cliff.
So again, we know that the police monitor live streams. They were planning to come out there. That's the reason why they drove off camera. They don't like being on camera for anything. We also know, I know this personally because I've watched many arrests of people in the First Amendment auditing community, where the police will make it look like resisting arrest by pulling and pushing at the same time, and they on purpose do not communicate with each other. So you see him yelling, he's putting the cuffs on me, while this other cop is trying to pull him. Okay, so and he says, please tell him you're putting the cuffs on me, so that they coordinate things, because they're both pulling and pushing at the same time. And I contend they're doing it on purpose to make it look like he's resisting arrest. And then they pull him off camera. He's trying to stay on camera because he wants it all documented. They did not identify themselves at all. He asked them to identify themselves. There are people in Arizona that are impersonating police officers, and they have the get-ups. They have, especially at night, they go out at night if they don't have the markings. They pretend like they're like detectives in unmarked vehicles. And they actually go out and harass people and collect money from them. They steal from them. They do all kinds of things from them. There's a case that I've got on my channel that I'm probably going to expose here very soon. And it's in that area. So they don't have a policy to identify, which is horrendous. It's outrageous. You need to identify yourself as a police officer when you're coming up to somebody and giving directives and giving orders.
And don't they have to articulate a reasonable suspicion of something also?
Yeah, they could have
reasonable, articulable suspicion
of a crime. Was he committing a crime? That's the first thing that we need to answer here. Was he breaking a law? I don't believe he was. I don't believe they had any reason to be out there except for they were following orders of Sheriff Nanos, who wants that area cleared out. This is an affluent area. These are wealthy people that live out there. They don't want any cameras out there anymore, but they're okay with the mainstream media. Something's weird about that.
Yeah, I agree.
This guy's just sitting on a public easement.
And
again, they made it look like he was trying to resist arrest on purpose, with a purpose, so that they could charge him with felony resisting. And they did.
Well, here's my thing, and
before you go, because
go ahead.
I know you're gonna get into it, and we got a whole nother 45 minutes to an hour left. So I got
so many questions.
Yes, I know you do. I know you do. I want to hear from the panelists first, kind of their first initial thoughts, and then I would love to open up the floor afterward. I want to get yours at the end, Spin. I'd like to go to Miss Balderson next, if that's possible. You bring the
Okay,
woman's
so
touch.
I was going to say, let me go ahead and take a woman's perspective, maybe more.
Yeah.
I own some of it, but not all of it. I want my husband to come home at the end of the day. I own that. And I guess if you want to go from the safety thing, what Steelman said is absolutely right. It's kind of dumb to take on an armed thug, if you don't have to. So if you value your safety, well then yeah, that you're not gonna to probably take it the direction that he did. However, his constitutional rights allow him to do. I'm not sure maybe where exactly the boundary is, but I didn't see anything where he initiated. He definitely was trying to get them off of him, and it looked like it hurt. I'm assuming that it always hurts when you're in handcuffs. Where's the line between somebody's literally forcing you into an uncomfortable position and they're going to take you away over something you don't think you've done wrong? They can't articulate that you've done anything wrong. They haven't identified themselves. You don't know if they're real. Like, there's so many check boxes. Where is their obligation to do any of those things along the way? They definitely should have handled that very, very differently. And they already had backup. They were looking for a fight. He is a big guy. He definitely was a big guy, so I can see that you maybe wouldn't want 2-on-2. He was definitely able to walk around with those two other guys attached to him. But also, you don't know somebody's history. Like, maybe this guy has PTSD. Maybe somebody has done some physical things to him, and when you touch him, you're about to set off a world of hurt you don't even know about. The reporter, the press.
Yeah. The young man, Alex.
Yes.
Yeah.
Alex.
No, I agree.
I just, what the cops did there is ridiculous. And I think it kind of speaks largely to, somebody had mentioned it's in an affluent area. Having the press there isn't even a good thing, because no press is good press when you're rich and influential. But they probably really prefer the press that shows up in nice cars and nice outfits and looks the way they do. And is maybe a little bit more controllable with the influence of the people with the money than the guy on the street who doesn't look like the residents do. That's my 2 cents.
I agree. All right, we're going to hand it over to For the Win. I want to get AJ's take on this as well before we go to Spin, but I want to hear For the Win on it.
So what did they end up charging him with, aside from the felony resisting?
So the police charged him with felony resisting and public nuisance.
Public nuisance.
Yes.
Yep. They threw that felony in so they could negotiate.
Right.
Yep.
Public nuisance.
So is that all you got there?
Arizona revised statute, if you want to look it up.
Did you want to have time to look that up, and then we can move on to someone else For the Win? Or
Yeah. Go on.
Might as well wave too here.
okay, AJ, you got anything? I mean, I assume you've been watching. You've seen what we've covered. So you've seen what we've covered so far.
A bit of it.
Yeah. Any initial thoughts on the arrest?
That was unlawful.
Unlawful. Okay.
It was unlawful use of force without the preceding or anteceding risk of harm or any imminent threat. So there wasn't any need for them to act so aggressively. There's no indication that he's armed. In Arizona, you can have a gun in your toothpaste case. They don't really care. The issue was of affluence, and it's hard to move away from our historical tradition of policing in the United States. Blair Mountain, for anyone who's not familiar, where the National Guard might actually drop bombs on anyone protesting against the wealthy. The dedication of our Senate to protecting the interest of the wealthy. And then you might look at the jurisprudence, which once again rules in favor of the wealthy, because the wealthies are the only folks that are able to sustain these frivolous lawsuits to get what they want. And so by matter of attrition, they erode and abrogate our rights and laws under the Constitution. This is an example of just rounding up bums on the side of the street because they're now vagrants by definition of those who don't want to be bothered by the fact that they drive by in their Bentleys or their Mercedes, and here's someone who appears to be a different skin color, a different social status, and perhaps even they don't like fat people. But whatever it is, they've decided as a community, individually, because I used to live in these areas, I know these people, that certain people are beneath them, and it goes very soundly to what they have said throughout history, rules for thee and not for me. So when the sheriff's office rolled up representing the only constitutional body of law enforcement, they should be even held to a higher standard constitutionality, as this is probably an unincorporated area. And therefore, they carry the full bounds of the Constitution, which means they should be protecting everyone's civil rights, including the Bill of Rights. And so this is even more an injustice because they're the ones who are supposed to be familiar with this. You ask any deputy what's better, a deputy or a police officer, they will tell you up and down, we're the sheriffs, we're the only ones in the Constitution. We'll stand up, law enforcement. I'm so sick of hearing back the blue when you guys act like this and on camera. You guys don't have any fear of harm because the wealthy protect you. They re-elect your sheriff. Well, I tell you, there's going to be a reckoning, and I'm not threatening violence, but you're going to have to face the decisions you're making with your bully batons and when you're just scraping up people that are considered unsavory to those who don't want to be reminded of the economic situation that this country is in, despite the Constitution. And the forgetting that no rules shall be made to any part of our citizenry that is not applied to all insider trading Congress. And no, you know, you try to do this to anybody of any means, it'll be thrown out of court. Therefore, it's not part of jurisprudence. Therefore, it is not part of the precedent in the court. And so they're allowed to continue to use the precedent of the court to hold lesser or less wealthy people down. And further, if I may, sorry for this little speech, but each court gets to decide its rules of the court, which are not lawful, and they're not even constitutional because they want to maintain a decorum. They want things under control, which is the conservative basis for most of the richer people because they got rich and they want to stay rich. And God forbid somebody should challenge them on what they're doing, who they're doing it to. They don't want to be reminded of the rabble. They don't want to be reminded of the people who actually won the revolution. They just want to continue to exploit and take from this land. I'll step off a little bit.
Well said, brother. Well said.
Thank you for the rant. It was well deserved and well said. Before I go to spin, love you, brother. For the win, did you have anything?
I did. Okay, so I looked this up with public nuisance, and when it relates to the First Amendment, I mean, I could see how they could have a case if this dude was actually blocking the road, doing something to that effect, but he wasn't. He was on the side. Traffic was able to freely come and go. There was nothing. The words that I saw, though, was...
A lot of it doesn't make any sense.
Well, if you look that up, somebody mentioned something in the chat. An easement is not public land. You really need to look up eminent domain before you talk about what's public land.
It's the right of way.
Right. It's a access.
Public transcourse or something like that.
Yeah.
Public access, yes.
Yeah.
So as my family personally knows, when your land is in the middle of where they want the highway, they split up your land and give you a check for less than market value.
Mm-hmm. Which is unconstitutional, but they're getting away with it.
Well, there's nobody to oppose them. And like I mentioned in another chat, the Monroe Court found that Andrew Jackson was outside of his bounds with Georgia, but he took it anyway because, you know, I'm not sure he really said that, but from reading other stuff, I'm sure he said something like it. Well, they made their decision. How are they going to enforce it? Sorry for the win. I'm a little.
No, you're fine. No, you're fine. You came up because you were heated,
great.
and that's just what it was, man. So I appreciate you coming up. So, under Arizona's revised statutes, a public nuisance is conduct that injures public health or interferes with the community's use and enjoyment of life or property.
Right.
So,
but your expectation of privacy, right, of all that of the landowners ends at their property line.
Subsection A1 is what he was charged with too on that.
Of the injuring public health.
Yeah.
Interesting. Is then like the next thing it says here is you can't punish the content of reporting. The government cannot label journalism itself a nuisance just because people dislike it, causes outrage, or it exposes wrongdoing.
Darn that irritating First Amendment.
Darn it.
So, you know, I kind of conclude it like, these guys, they absolutely know they're in the wrong.
Yeah.
But they can go ahead and arrest him. And then if anyone else wants to go and try to,
so they've got that charge.
well, but then also if anyone else wants to go out there and do the same exact thing this dude just did, it's going to deter
be
other
afraid
people. Exactly right. You know, so it's just complete corruption on that, you know, basis right there.
I mentioned in the chat that I have some mixed feelings about this, so let's take it from the Leo perspective, law enforcement officer.
Well, before you get into that, because I'm sure that we'll probably get into some of that as well in the open. But for the win, do you have anything else? Because I want to make sure to let Spin get his what for on this as well.
Hope Spin's ready.
For the win, do you have anything? Anything more?
Well, it's just wild. I mean, it's basically just what I just said. I mean, it's a power trip, you know, and they did it for a very specific reason. And the same thing. Well, if he's being a public nuisance, why isn't the mainstream media being a quote unquote public nuisance? They're doing the same exact thing he's doing.
Shiny vans.
All right. Okay.
Nicer clothes.
My wonderful host, the panelist, the
Printed out on a printer credentials. Sorry, I'm playing with Spin. I'll shut up.
Spin City News. Sir, I would love to hear your take on this. I know you haven't spoken really much of any on it at all. I'm anxious to hear. Go ahead, brother. Don't be a rookie and unmute.
God.
Channel your angry American.
Where in the hell do I even begin? Well, I know where I'm going to begin. Okay. You know, this right here is my company. Okay. This is considered media credentials, quote unquote. Okay. God. First of all, I'd love to know. I would love to know how the hell the sheriffs even knew that person was there, other than the car that, or SUV, what I believe it was a van,
Karen,
white van,
the white
something
Karen,
like that,
white
right?
van Karen.
Yeah, Karen come up and decided that she wanted to be an asshole. And Braves Piano comes in with a cookie over on pilled.not. Thank you very much, Miss Braves Piano. And the scratching is released over on pilled.net. Good luck, everybody.
Real quickly, Spin, I think that what you're forgetting to realize is that Karen went home and called every other Karen in the neighborhood, and they all called the police, and all of them reported.
Now that's just speculation.
Sure. I mean, look. What I can't be. I will not be remiss to say, whatever happened to Miss Guthrie is a tragedy, regardless. Okay, it is probably some left-wing lunatic or lunatic in itself to disappear someone, and maybe they are in the desert somewhere. Okay, let's just be honest, right? It's a very tragic thing to happen. However, back to our esteemed independent journalist. It appeared to me that he was sitting on the ground with his tripod in the air. Could be wrong. Couldn't see
chair.
it.
It was a lawn chair.
Okay, lawn chair. Okay, so he was not hindering traffic by any means. We can see that. We can see that he was not screaming at anybody. He was not doing anything that would be construed, in my opinion, as a nuisance. Okay. We all saw the video. I'm sure everybody can agree that he wasn't doing anything wrong. You know, it goes down to walking. It goes down to walking while you're white. Okay. There are officers of the law. There are officers of the law that, you know, will stop you for jaywalking or doing some stupid crap. Right. And, Terry versus Ohio. We're right back to that. And I don't know anything about the Constitution. I don't know anything about the First Amendment. Yeah, right. I'm lying. Look, criminally, I saw nothing. Now, if there was a directive by, please, Clay or Cliff, remind me the county or the town that they were in. That sheriff.
Pima,
what is it?
Pima, Arizona.
Okay, I thought that's what it was, but I didn't want to misquote it. I apologize.
It's in the foothills of Tucson, so it's in the
sure. So if that sheriff, in his libtarded wisdom, decided that he wanted to say, well, big box media, okay, we can't really stop him, but we can stop an independent media, which is against the Constitution of the United States. You know, I have to say this. I sure as hell wish somebody does it to me. Please do. Please. I welcome the opportunity. I welcome it. There is a big community that is behind me. And, you know, given things that I have done just of late, I have the respect of a lot of people. But we're not going to go into that. Phone calls were made. People were able to have things done very expeditiously. But anyway, bottom line, the fucking guy didn't do anything wrong. Second of all, he was not Mirandized. Not on camera anyway. Thirdly, there was no reasonable articulable suspicion that he was doing a crime. Fourthly, there was no Halo law infringement because it was not an active police scene. Fifthly, let's just goes on and on and on. They did not even ask him what his purpose was there, other than he may have a tripod with a cell phone or some sort of recording device that was just looking at a bunch of trees and a bush and a driveway. So is there anything in that we could say that may or may not be illegal. No, there is nothing illegal. If I want to put my fucking camera out in the middle of the street and I want to record something, if I am not infringing traffic or I am not causing a disturbance, that is covered under the First Amendment right that I do not know anything about. So at the end of the day, the guy should not, well, one, should not have been arrested. Number two, he should not have been put in torture cuffs and taken to the dungeon. Period. He should have been explained, this is why we are arresting you. This is the law or the statute or directive that we believe you have violated. So at the end of the day, it's a bad arrest. It's bad, all on its face. And mind you, Mr. Cliff, I did not watch the video. I had no idea. And I'm going to be forthwith and transparent. That pissed me off. So I had to take a breath because it just absolutely infuriates me. Now, we all know who Chili is. I watch his videos daily. And every day I see something new that is absolutely mind-boggling. Mind-boggling. At the end of the day, man, the guy shouldn't have been arrested. I mean, at least without an explanation. Or this is why you're under arrest. This is what you've done. We can argue it later, right? The other thing. Yeah. Now, I will say this. We are taught that if you are put under arrest, comply. Even if you don't think it's valid, right? Now, giving that said, just a minute. Should he have been thrown to the ground? No. Should he? Yeah, exactly. Should he have been taken to the ground? No. He was a bigger man, and two of them couldn't take him down. They kind of gave up on that.
I don't think you were listening to Vigilance, but please continue.
The only other thing that I can say about it.
Hold on, Spin. We'll open the floor here in a second. Spin is giving his initial thoughts. I mean, he hasn't got. I know we want to. Okay, go ahead.
He wants to fight me, and that's fine. That's fine.
No fighting. No fighting.
Yeah, no fighting.
No, I just fought for the rights my grandparents fought for.
You defended our rights.
It's a family.
Well, sure. Now, my last comment, and I'm probably going to regret it. We were taught not to fight. We were taught to comply. Even if you don't think it's above board. Because what the police like to do is, oh, you tensed your arms, you're resisting, which is a ad charge. Exactly. And I agree with that. Real American patriot. God, you change your name so many times, it's crazy.
Because Santa's pissed right now.
No, I know. But remember, be nice.
Well, then, you know what? I'm going to interject with my humorous not anecdote, but my humor here, which is that if you're going to go out and potentially get yourself arrested, don't do it on a Friday, because odds are you're going to spend the whole week in jail.
Unless you know somebody like me.
Okay, so there you go. I just wanted to Throw a little
No,
humor in there.
I mean, and that is very true. You never want to sit in the dungeon for more than 5 hours. Trust me.
I've never been there, and I
Or
hope
at
you never
all.
have to. But just don't sit in there over the weekend. It seems like common sense to me.
So, what's your final thought on this, so we can get us?
It's bad. The whole thing, or the whole situation should never have happened. And I'm not even saying that he shouldn't have even been out there. Okay. We can only allude to he may or may not have been informed of the directive of the sheriff. However,
It's unlawful.
there's this one thing called the Constitution that I've never heard of in my life that covers the press.
Yeah. There it is.
So Clay,
It covers unlawful assemblies.
Can I?
One.
go ahead. Ms.
Let's go ahead and open this up, and
Can I-
go ahead, Miss Balderson. And
So
and
there's a
you're welcome
comment.
to jump in anytime. Let's not
There's
get
a comment.
crazy with it though.
So somebody who knows more than I do, can somebody address this comment that was in the chat?
Mr. Clay.
Terry says, you're missing the big picture. NDAA nullifies free speech and habeas corpus. Reference Supreme Court case Hedges v. Obama.
Well, that's because he had to kill a citizen overseas. It was inconvenient.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So that
So habeas corpus is a right to trial. It literally means return the body, but you can go to your jurisdiction to face your accuser, unless, of course, it's a missile.
I like to say, where is the body? That's what I ask.
Show me the body is what habeas corpus means. But,
Oh, thank you. I stand corrected.
I was messing with one particular department about the arrest, and I'm like, show me the body.
So knowing matters. So what we see in common sense matters. Well, first, respectfully, panelists, Terry stop is about a traffic stop. And if one is sitting in a chair, non-moving, unable to move beyond human locomotion, a lot of the rules are changed because the Terry stop is about officer safety with a deadly weapon, which is a vehicle. Second, the ability to hide other deadly weapons. When you're considering a personage, no, it's almost like curtilage around a house. You're allowed to have your effects with you. And from what I saw in the video, he wasn't wearing tactical gear. He wasn't wearing a trench coat. He wasn't doing anything to obscure view. So lawful order would have been, hey, come up, can we talk to you for a bit? But everybody getting him up. And I don't know if everybody here every day carries or not. It's not, something that I'm going to preach about. But if you do, you recognize everyone else is carrying.
Well, let me say this too, because I happen to know a lot about this stuff. Okay, there is no lawful order that those officers could have given him. Those deputies.
Yes, there is.
Excuse me. There's not a single lawful order that those deputies.
They can tell you to stand up.
They cannot do that. No.
Yes,
No, they
can.
cannot. No, they cannot.
not without reasonable, articulable suspicion of a crime.
Right, reasonable, articulable suspicion. I agree. Did
What
you
would be
hear
the reason?
No,
Of a crime.
What?
you didn't hear them say it. We don't know that it said. If we're going to adjudicate it, then I'm going to go back to court rules where I get discovery. I'm not arguing for the cops, so just everybody slow down a
You
little
just said
bit.
you're under arrest. That's it. Get up,
Well,
you're
that's
under
not
arrest.
the first thing they said.
First off, he told him to drop the
First
cigarette.
thing we heard, sir. I
Drop the
respect.
cigarette.
Drop
Drop
the
the
cigarette.
cigarette.
Okay. Yeah.
In other words, you directed that he didn't have to
If
follow
you just
law.
want to argue with me who's on your side, you're not fighting.
No,
right.
no, you're fine. You're fine. You're fine.
I'm
You're
not
fine.
arguing with you.
No, you're fine. So in my opinion, there's not a single lawful order that they could have given him, and here's why. Because the lawful order entails their duties, which is to.
But you're missing something because you don't like it.
But I didn't even. Give it.
Alderson cited it. Karen went home and had everyone call, and then having everyone call, that created a dangerous situation. So you're mistaken, brother.
I didn't.
They
know.
didn't articulate
Whether or
it.
not it's right, whether or not it's fair, and yes, it should have been articulated. but
There
we
you go.
know
Okay.
those facts to be
I
true.
didn't say anything. I didn't say anything about any of that.
They can damn right
What
tell
I'm-
you to stand up when they have gotten reports
They
from
can't-
that there is a nuisance.
AJ,
They don't have to observe
hold
it.
on,
They have
hold on.
multiple reports.
Slow
So
down.
tell me how that's not lawful.
slow down. There is not a single lawful order that they could have given in, and here's why. Because their claim, which is the crime that they charged him with, which was public nuisance, has certain tenets that are required. I personally saw none. I personally
What did they
watched the
observe?
video, and then on top of that,
What did the neighbors
it's a-
report?
Hold on.
Counselor, we're not in court yet.
Hold on.
No, if you want to get the
Are you
truth,
just
you
gonna yell
can't
at
just
me?
say, hey, I'm looking at it after
AJ,
the
are you
fact,
just gonna
Monday
sit here and
morning
yell at me?
forward.
Are you
No,
just
respectfully,
just-
what I'm
no, you're not
saying
being
is you
respectful.
have to understand
slow
what the
down?
mindset of the cops
Slow
is.
down. You
I'm
have
not-
all
I'm not-
the time in the world to talk about this.
Okay, but you're just telling me why it's wrong, and I told you why it's not wrong.
Yeah, but
We
no,
don't
I
know
haven't.
what the
I haven't even
neighbors
told
said,
you.
bro.
I haven't, bro. You have not given me the time to say what I need to say.
Well, you already start out with no, that there's no reason under the law, and I just said
Yeah.
witness statements.
And here's why.
Witness statements.
And then I said,
trump-
you're not allowing me to speak, bro.
Well, we've met before.
I
Go
can
ahead.
be wrong all day long, but if you don't allow me to say what I need to say, then you'll never know.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. The charge that they charged him with was public nuisance. Okay.
Mhm.
I personally saw none of that. On top of that, it's a misdemeanor. In order for a misdemeanor to be charged, it must be in the presence of an officer. Otherwise, it becomes a citation. And then on top of that, these officers, instead of telling him what he's been charged with, they did not say it. They did not give him a citation. They gave him no reason to understand why it is that he is being held for an investigation, required a Terry stop prior to an actual arrest or citation,
It's
right?
not a Terry
They
stop.
have to investigate to see whether a crime has been committed or not. They did absolutely zero investigation from my perspective. Now, it's possible that they could have been waiting off there in the bushes, but it does seem pertinent to point out that it took about at least 2 to 3 minutes, maybe 5, before they got there, and they were hauling behind, which means that they were there in a hurry, which tells me that they were not observant of any actions when the call was made. When they arrived on scene, he was sitting, minding his own business, smoking a cigarette.
Yep. Okay, may I respond to all that?
Go right ahead.
Okay, you're responding after the fact to a particular set of facts. We don't know what the neighbor said, do we?
Not a clue.
Okay. So there is an allegation of sorts. So they respond with haste. I'll agree with you because it's a nice area. I used to live in Tucson, so I am intimately familiar with the neighborhood. Okay. Now, the second part, we can play absolutist Goldilocks with the Constitution all we want, and these things should be challenged, right? So all the Challenger and First Amendment, Fourth Amendment, whatever auditors, just take a breath for a second. All I'm saying is we don't know what was said. So we're doing exactly what the cops did, or sheriff's deputies in this case. We're presented with a certain amount of number of facts that haven't been adjudicated, that haven't been premised on balance, that we don't have the full record of the tape. Doesn't look like he audited the viewing of this at all, but a lot of things are off camera. A lot of those mics are unidirectional and a lot of them aren't. We don't know if his finger was on the speaker or the mic or whatever. So I didn't disagree, Vigilance. I'm just saying I agree we didn't hear it. Now, in court, the balance of the law says if we can't hear it, he didn't hear it. But when our mindset, when we're going, is this reasonable for a cop to do? This is not me being pro-cop. This is me just going, okay. Every observation that we have is they came in tearing down because he wasn't in a shiny van of approved media that know the game that they're supposed to play. I agree with that. Law enforcement tends to hate independent media because they're harder to control. They're like slippery. There's no political deal to be made.
They're impossible to control, I contend.
Yeah. So, I mean, let us not create Prenti in reverse of the conclusion. Prenti was in the middle of the street, not obstructing traffic. The law enforcement were in their vehicle ready to leave when they decided to get out and play hockey with people. Okay. So I don't think he should have been shot. I think those officers, in fact, for getting out were the ones who accelerated the situation. And what happened the day before, because they chose not to charge it, is immaterial.
I will tell you guys this. There's some new facts that have come in as well. Apparently, the county attorney agrees with me, and we can find no court documents of the charge of resisting the felony charge. So,
you mean they sometimes don't file paperwork correctly? They just tell you to do that to get you in the bus.
Well, they said that was a charge, but the county attorney evidently disagrees that he was not resisting arrest, and I don't think he's being prosecuted for it. So that's.
Oh, you mean that sometimes they just say false charges and everything like that? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I agree with you 110% that they were playing pogo sticks with that rather large man.
It's standard modus operandi, especially against people with cameras.
Right.
They do
because
that a lot.
People from the nice neighborhood see that as resisting, and everybody else goes, "No, they were just juggling this guy."
Yeah.
And then they yell sometimes
and
stop.
They wanted him off camera too.
And to your point, Vigilance, like they knew they had shit to begin with, and they didn't tell him why he was being arrested because they were trying to provoke him for that very thing. That was exactly what they were trying to do.
Well, in agreeing with Clay, yes, you can clip this. He should have been given an order to disperse rather than arrest. Public nuisance does not rise to the level of arrest on its own.
He had already been cited for it in the past. He had already been cited for it
at that particular location.
Yes.
Okay.
Only they cited him at his home, not at
Okay, Cliff, let me ask you this. Do you know if he had been trespassed from that location?
There's no.
I don't think he can be trespassed from public area.
Public property, yeah. So they couldn't trespass.
You can't be trespassed from public access.
I agree.
Yeah, kind of.
There's
no. I agree with that. I would. Okay, let me re-ask the question. Was he
of trespassing? No.
Okay, so then they didn't have that, so they had to come up with something. To affect to the level, or the arrest to the level where he would be arrested, no questions asked, yada yada yada.
And I contend it wasn't they. I contend it was he, Sheriff.
Okay, he.
Yeah, because they have cocktail parties together.
It comes all the way from the top.
You can't resist arrest for something that you haven't been told what you're being arrested for. There has to be a reason to be arrested in the first place before that you can be resisting the arrest that had to be justified.
No,
For those who didn't understand what was being said.
They do it all the time, though. They do it all
right.
the time.
No,
they do it. Yeah.
I understand.
Depending on how kinetic the situation, you can do some of these things after the fact.
I will say this too, much like Florida and some other states, an unlawful arrest is not a reason for a resisting charge. So they will still get you on the resisting charge.
Well, that's why it wasn't even filed. You know, they know the system too.
Yeah.
And there's a certain amount where these guys are just trying to make it home and everything like that. And unfortunately, they pick on people that aren't any bother because they want to make sure the sheriff gets elected again so they have their jobs. I mean, there's a certain amount of self-survivability here. So that's why I like to argue is I'm standing up for my rights. Let's not be Goldilocks here. Let's not look at things after the fact. They were clearly wrong. I believe there should be a consequence to that, not to the community, because the community didn't make that decision.
Sure.
So, yeah, you want to
Go ahead. Go ahead,
Okay.
Clay.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be the host. So,
You're fine.
Spin City Security. This is not Spin City. This is security. Asks Cliff, why the night Alex got arrested and no one was allowed out there at 4 a.m. all the lights in Nancy's house were on.
I did hear that report. I have no idea.
That's a little sus to me, but
there's a lot of sus things.
This guy named Roger that was arrested, even though he wasn't a violent person. He was arrested with a big FBI raid somewhere around 4 or 5 in the morning to create distraction, delusion, and a bigger disruption to the surrounding area to show that the state has more power than we do individually. Perhaps. That's why. Psychological operations. It's not.
Yes.
It's not the proper, covering the law. And this is just classism. When that foothills area, those houses cost 4 or 5 times what the surrounding houses do. Let's not make any, funny talk
No
about
bombs. None. Yeah.
How unfortunate that neighborhood is experiencing that embarrassment, but nobody in the surrounding areas created it. And
so the problem with our law enforcement is they are acting like military operations, psychological operations.
Right.
I've been military, so I understand psychological operations. Why are they at war with the American people? I don't understand that.
But the people holding the leash are the ones encouraging that. That's when the military buyback started. You only need to look. And when did this start? When it went from protect and serve to dominate and club. I mean, you only have to look at history. It's not this party or that party. It's been consistent through both parties. And so if you're mad at that statement, study some history and get to know your country.
Exactly. Yeah. We're on the same page.
Yeah.
We're gonna move. We're gonna start wrapping it up. We've got about 14 minutes left. I want to make an announcement to the America Rising Media platform and viewers and friends, patriots alike. This 3rd and 4th of July, with cooperation and sheer just ability with America Rising Media, we are going to cover America 250 or Freedom 250 from Washington, D.C., from the National Mall. We are very excited here at America Rising Media to be able to get out there. We are wanting to do a little bit of crowdfunding just to keep the lights on, give us some gas money, whatever you want to call it.
Yes,
so in the left-hand corner of the screen, there is a QR code. It is a gift send go. That is how we are going to do it. You can also send gold pill donations. We will also take care of that. And if you want, you can donate directly to Spin City News at our Cash App and Venmo is scrolling at the bottom of the screen. I have a little bit of a promo video that I am going to show. Please forgive the simplicity of it, but this is how it has to be done. So please, if you will, please kindly donate $5, $1, whatever you can do. We much appreciate it. We're going regardless, and it will be on all the ARM channels. I want to thank everybody. Oh, okay. I just got showed up. Okay, Ash, I see you over there. Good to see you, Ash. I will get that. I will get that in to my StreamYard, and I will start using that. Gentlemen, you know, there's a lot of shit that goes on out there with law enforcement, with state government, local government, and the federal government. We all know this, right? We know that directions from bosses can mean big lawsuits. Let's just be honest, right? It's a shame what happened to this guy. I think it's been very evidently clear that it's evidently clear that there was some wrongdoing here. There absolutely was some wrongdoing.
Yeah.
And you know, at the end of it, it's a shame.
It is. Yep.
And I want to say thank you for allowing me to be on here as a guest to bring this story to everyone as well. I do appreciate that. Thank you.
Absolutely. You know, we know that there's a lot of crap out there, and I have the new video, so I'm going to have to replay it. We've been working on this video for what, Mrs. Balderson, 2 days now, trying to get it right and how we want it, but this one's a little bit better. So I'm going to play this one. I apologize, everybody.
Celebrating America's 250th. We will be there live. Spin City News, teaming up with America Rising Media to broadcast a very special event with exclusive content. You can help crowdfund this below. Links in the description. DC, we will be live and we will be there. Spin City News and America Rising.
There you go, guys. There you go.
You did a good job, Spin.
Well, I had some help, and I had some help from the America Rising team. They are great people, folks. We couldn't bring this content to you, even the panelists, without them. We really would want to bring this to your living room, and I'm speechless.
Yeah,
I'm speechless.
You want to go ahead and get through some closing statements on
Sure, absolutely. Mr. Cliff is our guest of the evening. Cliff, I have to apologize for the other day. I was in the thick of things, but when Brick brought this to me, I was like, you know what? Yeah, let's do it. And I met you, and I'm very impressed of what you do. We all do things of likeness, just in different ways. And Cliff, I'm going to turn the mic over to you. I want you to tell everybody where they can find you, and just some final thoughts, sir.
Well, I appreciate that. I don't really plug my channel all that much. If you want to learn and be educated on constitutional issues, and you want to see transparency and accountability within your government, I just post on YouTube. I do live streams mainly, helping other First Amendment auditors in that community as well. This story affected me in a way because I truly think that it's going to be a national trend. All these other states, if they get away with this public nuisance law, they are going to use it in other states as well. So I hope that these YouTubers win their cases, and I don't know about penalizing the taxpayers with lawsuits, but I think that could be easily done. It's just a matter of finding civil rights attorneys. But I appreciate you having me on. All of your guests have been great too. I thought I was going to have a little more contentious activity, but it didn't happen, and there was no apology needed on your end either. I don't know what you were apologizing for. So
Well, the other day when I had to leave abruptly.
Oh no, you were fine. No,
Right,
I
meeting.
didn't think anything of it. So,
And we are having another panel here around 11:30 Eastern time. I know you're on Pacific time, so that'd be 8:30 your time. Here on the Spin City News channel, I did ask Brick to send you the invite. You will be an honored guest, and it will be a little bit contentious, but we won't let it get out of control. Definitely, this is a topic that needs some attention. So I really appreciate it,
on our
Cliff.
side. Yeah, we really need the people on our side.
So so anybody in the chat, if you are here from the Vigilance Committee and other things, please make sure you obviously subscribe to the Benjamin Balderson channel, Spin City News, and the Vigilance Committee. You can find them over on YouTube. Mrs. Balderson, your final thoughts, my dear.
Okay, I'm just going to go back to comedy. Well, not comedy, just humor. And Steelman's comment being the police will always mess up the arrest if you just let them stay calm, take the arrest, and sue later. Don't do it on a Friday. Don't do it on a Friday. Don't stay in jail over the weekend. Do it on a Monday, or maybe Monday's probably backed up. So maybe do it on a Tuesday or Wednesday. That's my.
All righty. Salty Santa, also known as the Flat Earther and the Moon Isn't Real, and Real American Patriot. Your final thoughts, sir.
You definitely, I think, are helped by being passionate about this, but being smart is better. If you're going to do this kind of, engagement, make sure that you're calm and prepared. Make sure other people know you're there. Make sure there are people to get you out. Wednesday's a lot better than Friday. There are a lot of things that you can do to still affect change in your area without hurting yourself as much. There will be inconvenience, but it was inconvenient to tell the King of England to bite sand or suck sand or whatever. And then finally, I really appreciate people who are doing this, but do it wisely. Don't do it to get clicks. Do it for our Constitution and for our children.
And if I could add to that real quickly, understand the laws and statutes in the area that you are specifically in, because if you're not necessarily where you know the laws, you should maybe know whether you're breaking laws and giving them reason to do something about it.
Absolutely. For the win.
Okay, we got a couple minutes here, so we'll make this short and sweet. So when we're talking about the provoking actions that they were doing there, and he was asking him, is someone going to take my camera? Who's going to pick up my stuff or whatever? And they said, no, we're not. And then after they threw him in the car, they went over to the camera and turned it off, and they took his stuff, obviously. So that was another clear point of being able to provoke him more. So,
yeah. Absolutely. Gentlemen, go ahead, Salty.
Just one more thing that I forgot. The exchange is only the first iceberg tip of the battle. You can use your court case as having standing for other discussions, including city council, including ground roots movements, where the areas surrounding that neighborhood could, for example, demand to not be treated like second-class citizens, not allowed there.
Absolutely. Gentlemen, our panelists, I'm going to put you in the back. Clay and I are going to say goodbye to our audience. Everybody stay in the back, and we will say our goodbyes while after the outros play. So, Salty, go back to the back, sir. I've been waiting to say that for so long. Mrs. Balderson, we will see you soon, my dear. Cliff, thank you very much. Just stay in the back, and you can watch the outro, and we'll go from there. For the win, we'll see you in a little bit. Mr. Clay, another successful episode 6 of The Panelist on America Rising Media.
I really enjoyed it, my man. This was awesome. It was really awesome to see another one of the bigger voices, in my opinion, in the 1A community to come up on this platform and share not only a story that's certainly worth putting out there, but bringing attention to some of the constitutional issues that press is having. I think Cliff did a wonderful job. I hope people do go over and sub up to Cliff at the Vigilance Committee. He does have one of the greatest people out here on YouTube modding for him, Stephanie Jinks. The channels there that we covered, Criminal Network and Da Juice, they work together.
Sure.
Go sub up to them. Make sure you guys who coming over here from the community sub up to Spin City News Network, or excuse me, Spin City News. I apologize. Spin City News, Mr. and Mrs. Balderson at Benjamin Balderson on YouTube. Go sub up to Let's OTVO. We got a story coming out that we've been doing. And I'm so happy to see you going to DC. I'm happy that I get to do some of the backstage work. Guys, if you can, throw a couple bucks into the it's up on the corner there, into the Give, Send, Go. You know that we can't do this without you, and appreciate it so much. Thank you so much to everybody who came through, and thank you, Spin.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Brick. The outro is going to play. Again, good evening, Patriots. We love you.
Spin City on the screen, he walks in like a spark. Tie little crooked and he lights up the dark. Mic in his hand and the room starts to shake. Every seat got a fighter, every point got a stake. He points, he grins, then the volume goes high. One more hot take and somebody might fly. Hands up, here we go again. Talk real loud, let the chaos begin. Side to side and the truth gets loud. Spin City calls it out. Right there in the crowd. The Panelist on America Rising Media. The Panelist on America, hey, Rising Media. Spin City, spin it hard, yelling at everyone. Spin City, spin it hard, nobody leaves untouched. He leans in close, then he cuts to the chase. A raised eyebrow hit right across his face. One says yes, one says no in a flash. He turns that heat up like he wants it to clash. A finger in the air and the debate goes wild. Every argument sharp, every answer style. He laughs, he swings, then he hands up the mic. The whole room buzzes like a match in the night. Hands up, here we go again. Talk real loud, let the chaos begin. Side to side and the truth gets loud. Spin City calls it out. Right there in the crowd. The Panelist on America, hey, Rising Media. The Panelist on America, Rising Media. Spin City, spin it hard, yelling at everyone. Spin City, spin it hard, nobody leaves untouched.
America Rising Media. Check us out live on the web. All of our show times for all of our exclusive content and shows. You can check out all the ARM channels and all the America Rising Media podcasters. America Rising Media. And that's not all. You can find all of our exclusive content on all of our platforms linked up as well at the click of a button. You can check out our scheduling, see when our shows are, find out what's going on, get in touch with all of our social media. Changes will be announced on our website or of course on our Telegram, t.me, America Rising. Also support us, independent media, independent patriot media. This is our merch store. Get armed. Peacefully, of course.
thank you for all of your support. You can also find links to all of our videos, Wicked Age, and all their music exclusively on our website. Sean's videos, my videos, all the exclusive content, and of course, links directly to pill.net, our flagship. Also, Getter, X, Truth Social, all of our social media. We are America Rising Media. You can find us at americarising.media.